Right, Shalom, giving our praise unto Abashima Shabashim Korash. The honors unto the apostles of great millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And the brother body are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Korash. Giving our praise unto Abashima Shabashim Korash. It's going to be a relatively quick video based upon this clip, this snippet of information here from Fox News, and this has been released coming on for a couple of days ago. And they're speaking about the brain chips, the breakthrough that they're speaking that they're so proud of, the breakthrough that is these brain chips, of which we understand from the scriptures the miracles that Esau was going to do in terms of this technology, giving people the ability to see, giving people the ability to walk, is all part of the prophecy. It's all part of what we was going to see within the last days of the last days. But invariably, this wasn't for the betterment of humanity. This was for the enslavement of humanity. That is to say, this CHIP, the chip, whether it's going to be implanted within your brain, within your arm, whether you're going to take it first and foremost to get the healings that Esau is going to tag along with it and to become a superhuman, or you're going to take it just for keeping up with the system. It doesn't really matter. What matters is this is what Esau's bringing down the pipeline. So naturally, we got to start with a "It's June" statement that comes from these other guys out here that call themselves all kind of rich prophets and call themselves all kind of affluent individuals when it comes to the worldly possessions. But clearly they don't have the wealth and the knowledge that's contained within the scriptures, because that's really the real wealth. The ability to see what's happening around you and couple it with what's said within the scriptures. That's a real rich right here. So as touching that, yes, we'll accept the category that you put us as the bomb camp, so long as we're the ones that are rich in wisdom. And that's what the scripture says within the book of Psalms. That's what the scripture says within the book of Revelations. It speaks about war unto. They are of the synagogue of Satan. Okay, but we're rich in knowledge, if I remember accurately how that scripture goes. But I believe that's within the book of Revelations, the 3rd chapter. Correct me on the comment board if I'm wrong, or maybe when I do another video, I'll come back and touch on that scripture at a later stage. But certainly, we know there was going to be those that was going to have the money riches, right, the money of this world, and those that was going to have the actual real riches, which is the understanding of the scriptures, which is going to lead onto actual riches, because the Federal Reserve notes, the Bank of England notes, the Bank of Jamaica notes, that's not real money. That is fiat currency. And fiat currency has been created to create a debt system in order for them to take over the people, which naturally lead us right back onto this thing here, which is the chip. That's what it's going to lead on to. So China's neo brain implant could help paralysis patients control devices with their thoughts, but the privacy stakes are hard to ignore. And when they're talking about all of this privacy business, better believe that you don't have no privacy within this new digitized world, especially when we're going into the Internet of Things and the brain body link that they're going to set up out here. You ain't got no privacy out here. They sell your data all over the place, and that's why you be getting all kind of crazy phone calls at middle of the day, telemarketer, like car insurance, not car insurance, these it's PCP. Have you ever had PCP? Those phone calls, because your data is being sold on a day-to-day basis, and they got to put these models together of how you think. They got to put these models together of how and what you do and how you do it. And that's all good. That's neither here nor there. What we need to really be thinking about is, this is all a part of the scriptures. Esau using his sword, Esau using his technology to take over the world. That's all a part of the scriptures. It's all a part of what's written in the Bible, namely the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter. It speaks about these things coming to pass. It also speaks about the sciences falsely so called. It also speaks about the miracles that these guys was going to work. It's kind of like a miracle. It's not kind of like a miracle. It is a miracle to be able to be paralyzed, and now you can control, Windows 15. You can control Windows 15 with your blinks. That's kind of like a miracle. Now you can get Alexa to get you to get you a coffee or order your coffee by blinking. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of like a miracle, but that's what Esau's going to bring down the pipeline. For a lot of people, that's going to be like the greatest thing ever for them. Think about it. You've never spoken before. You go spinal bifida, what other things come to mind? All kind of cripples that's out there, and now all of a sudden this technology comes on the market, and you could just do all of these things. You're going to line up for it. These guys are going to line up for it, but we're warning the people and telling you this is just a part of it. This is just a sell, okay? When you go to a con man, he sells you on a dream, right? A con man sells you on a dream. So this is just a sales pitch. They're going to sell you on this advancements in humanity. This is the next stage of human evolution. They're going to tell you. This is the next stage that we're going to be advancing to. That's what they're going to tell you. But in actuality, like you see Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Hashem Hashai saith within the scriptures that they was going to set a mark, right? A spiritual mark within the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So too was Esau going to set up a mark for those that accept the image of the beast, that don't sigh and cry for all the abominations that in the midst thereof, that are comfortable with this society. They're going to take that chip, man. They're going to take that chip. They're going to take that chip. Fucking crazy bastards out here. Crazy people out here. Okay? We gotta be careful out here, man. We gotta pray when we start driving, man. People out here are just crazy. Especially some of these delivery drivers and taxi drivers, man. Anyways, so again, like I said, that's really the video. It's June. And indeed every June we're gonna until we out of this kingdom, we're gonna be bringing that up. Because it's so obvious that this is what's coming down the pipeline. So much information, so much, you know, so much technology, quote unquote technology, that's being developed for this chip and seemingly unlinked. But you better believe Moab and Esau, like we see within the history, within the scriptures, Moab and Esau was always intertwined. You might see Moab do some technology, so Esau do some technology. It's all part of the same system. It's all part of the same agenda. You know, China's already out there with a social credit system out there. You know, Babylon wants to follow suit after. It's all part of the same agenda. It's all part of the same agenda. So this is what's coming down the pipeline. In any event, with that, I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh Shai double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and I honor your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.